Hey guys, happy Thursday. Woot woot. So today was pretty cool. I'm in a pretty good mood. My day started out really interesting and nice. I got to help someone. Um, Long Beach has a ton of displaced people. Homelessness in general is a massive problem in California, but it's huge in Long Beach. There's homeless people everywhere, and there's a lot of people who are mentally ill. And but anyway, so we went to take Sebastian to the Bluff to walk this morning, and I was going to take him to the dog park, but there wasn't any parking. So we took him to walk. But before that, we went to Starbucks. And so I go to Starbucks and I'm supposed to order Jeff something. Yesterday I ordered his drink wrong and he got so pissed off at me and yelled at me. And so I wanted to make sure I got his drink absolutely correct this time. So I went up and I was ordering one of those hibiscus berry refresher things. Anyways, so she asked me a challenging question, like told me there's no 0-calorie sweetener or whatever. So I had to leave the line and go ask Jeff exactly what he wanted because I was confused. So I come back into Starbucks and there's 3 people. After I talked to Jeff, I come back into Starbucks, there's 3 people in line in front of me. And I see this guy at the front and he's all disheveled and he's limping and he doesn't look well. And I see him talking to the lady at the register, and he's saying, I have a little money to buy a coffee, but can you please just do me a favor and charge my phone for me? And he's holding out his phone with the charger, and she's like, I'm sorry, I don't have a USB. And he's like, oh, can't you please help me? And he just starts crying, breaking down crying. And I'm rushed over to him and I'm like, don't worry, I can charge your phone for you. We can plug it into my car and it'll be fine. So I did that and I grabbed his phone and I went and took it over to Jeff, and we plugged it in the car and I was talking to him. And so this is his story, right? And so I go outside and I'm kind of shaken up because anytime you see a man cry, it's jarring. But especially when it's someone in that situation, and I can so relate because I've been in that situation. So I'm outside. I'm like, okay, look, let me just take your phone over to my car, plug it in. So we plugged it in, turn on the car, and then I come back and because I left him sitting outside of the Starbucks, and I said, what happened? Because when he was inside and before he started crying, he's like, I just want to call my parents, please. And so I'm like, we'll help you and then you can call your parents, right? So will they help you? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, where are your parents? And he said, they're in Arizona. And I said, well, and he just starts offering up information. He's like, what did he say he did? He said he lost his job at the milk and yogurt plant in somewhere near Compton or something, Commerce or something like that. One of those industrial cities. Anyways, I didn't know there were milk and yogurt plants, but that's where he said he worked. And then he said he lost his job because of COVID, I think. I don't know if it was because of COVID or not. But he started driving for Lyft, but the car that he had was a rental car. So some point in there, he crashed his car. He was living in his car, and at some point in there, he crashed his car, and then he ended up with a rental car. But what happened was he said that he lost his job. He was living in his car, and he thought he could manage driving for Lyft and Uber, but it wasn't cutting it, and then it wasn't working because he was living in his car and he had all this stuff in his car. He said, so then he started working for Postmates, and he said he was making really good money, like $600 a week or something like that, and he was doing really well. He said, but then the car rental costs got to be too much. And then he got in an accident and he broke his foot. He had a broken foot. He was hobbling around. The only thing he had with him, he was carrying his guitar. And then he had his friend was watching his stuff over by the bus station. But he didn't ask for my help. he asked them all, he wasn't asking for free coffee, wasn't asking for money or anything. He was just asking them to charge his phone so he could call his parents. He was like my age. So, you know, I helped him with that, and I said, well, can I buy you a coffee? And he's like, here, I can give you money. And he was like trying to give me money to pay for his coffee. And I'm like, no, I'll get it for you. It's fine. And he said, it was hard. It shakes me up when that happens, because I was sitting there talking to him, and he's like, you know, I'm just going to have to throw in the towel and call my parents and tell them I can't make it. And I'm like, well, he's like, I've been out here, you know, 2 nights already, and I've been surviving. It's not that bad. And I was like, oh yeah? And he's like, no, it's really bad. And then he starts crying. He's like, it's really hard. It's really hard. He starts to cry. He's like, ooh. And, look, I don't know if this guy was making this up, but there was no reason for him to make up this story to me. He didn't ask me for money. I wasn't giving him any money. I bought him a coffee. He didn't target me or anything like that. He went into the store. I know how it feels, because I've been in situations where my phone was dead and I had no place to charge it. And without a phone, you have no communication. But anyways, because my husband is like super electronic and we have all kinds of gadgets and stuff, we actually had a plug-in charger for it, because he had the cord for his phone. He just didn't have like the USB part to plug into the wall. So that's why he was asking for help. He needed the actual like USB part to plug into. But we had one in our car. So we charged his phone to like 11%, and then I gave it to him. But it was interesting talking to him. This is why I don't think that he was making anything up or anything like that. I definitely think he probably had some mental health issues, and this was like a lucid moment for him. Or maybe he just didn't. Maybe he was just somebody that was trying really hard and to make it work in California, really wanted to be here, and he just couldn't do it. But he was a really nice person, and he got his phone charged and he was able to go along. Hopefully he called his parents, and hopefully they got him out of this situation. But he was sitting there and he was saying, I was asking him something, and then he did it again. He started crying again, and he's like, it's so hard. It's hard to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, I've been in that situation. You guys, I've been in a situation where I was homeless and I used the bathroom outside, number 1 and number 2, because I was homeless and there were no public restrooms. I had no other choice. And it's gross, right? It's totally gross, but what am I supposed to do? You know, what are homeless people supposed to do? So I went into Starbucks and got the code for him to the bathroom, and they said he could use the bathroom. So maybe that was his whole plan, to get a free coffee somehow, get his phone charged, and, you know, who knows? There are people out there like that. I don't think that was this guy's situation, but I don't know. And to be honest, it doesn't matter, because I'm not the one to judge. And if somebody needs help and I'm able to help them, I should just do it, right? We all should. Like, if you needed help, you'd want someone to just help you. But yeah, that's what happened today. And then I worked on some music, so it was a really good day. I also find that when like I'm able to do something for someone else, it takes me away from my own pain, like the things that I'm suffering with. You know, when I was talking to that guy, yes, it was bringing up bad feelings and flashbacks and bad memories of the things that I have been through, because I've been in that exact situation before. But when I was having a conversation I was able to attach a new emotion to those things that happened to me that are devastating, because I was able to use that experience to have compassion for someone else, whereas I never would have had that kind of compassion for someone else. Yes, I've always cared about homeless people, but I've never known what it's like to be in that situation until I was. And because I have been in that situation, I'm much more aware of it. So yeah, it was a good day. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to do some music tonight. I don't know, we'll see. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.